This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am so tired. But we are here because it's Tuesday night, and this is what we freaking do. First of all, with us from the Duds Cave is Katie Dudas. How you doing?
Hi, friends. How's it going?
Hey, you're not attacking us with Grogu this week? The Beast Man was wearing his Buc-ee's shirt to Texas Roadhouse after the show last weekend. It was like one of the best Buc-ee shirts I think I've seen. So I'm just glad that he's found that as well.
Oh, now I want to wear this to a Texas Roadhouse.
You wear the Texas? Yeah, there you go. I just have my Nashville one. So anyways, and also with us is from the Podcave, from the iPhoneography podcast. It was a very special day for him. They talk all things iPhone cameras, and oh my, there's a lot for iPhone cameras
to talk about today.
So much to talk about, and if you're on the live stream, you seem pretty peaked, and I'm going to work on that here in a moment. Oh, I think I saw what happened. We just reset something, and I got to see where it went. Anyways, so from that, let's get into our awesome thing of the week. And no, the sounders are still broken, and just imagine the song in your head right now.
Thing of the week.
There you go. Without all the fun kid metal beatboxing kind of situation here. Anyways, if I can be in the studio and not in quarantine for most of the week. For those who don't know, I did get COVID last week, so that's why things are a little haphazard because I haven't been here since Wednesday. I walked in an hour ago, and that's when I had to figure out where all the equipment was from last weekend stuff that I was not able to be privy to. But thank you to Missy and Katie and Riz and Emily for sticking it out for us this weekend in Pittsburgh for Enjoy and up at Erie for Big League and pulling that off. And it's like you guys don't even need me around anymore, apparently. So I will just have to reconcile that with my therapist. And moving on, awesome thing of the week, Katie. Let's start with you with something happy after that.
Yay, happy! If it wouldn't be an AwesomeCast if I didn't have something Hello Kitty, or we didn't talk about something Hello Kitty, I have a new bag. It is my new Halloween Hello Kitty bag. It's a mini backpack. And it's very adorable. I don't know if you can see. I've got some cute ghosts and some adorable pumpkins. And, of course, a Frankenstein's monster Hello Kitty. This actually glows in the dark. It is pretty sweet when it's all charged up. And it's pretty darn bright. I was surprised. But it doesn't come the whole way out. But you can kind of pop her out there. It has an adorable little ghost zipper tie or zipper thing you do. But yeah, I love this. It's a good size. It's like it's not Loungefly, but it's like a similar size as a Loungefly, but also it feels a lot more flexible than a Loungefly. If you've ever owned one, if you're not familiar with the Loungefly, those are like the little backpacks they have that are like every sort of fandom, a lot of Disney ones that people will have, and the big collectors of these people love them. They're obsessed with them. I do own one. But this one seems a little bit different, a little bit like, since it's not a Loungefly, a little bit more flexible, and it's easier to carry around and grab things out of without having to fight with it as much. But yeah, this is my new Halloween Hello Kitty bag. I had one last year. I don't know if I had it on the show, where it looked like Hello Kitty, but it was a jack-o'-lantern Hello Kitty. So this is this year's Halloween Hello Kitty model.
Most importantly, I think the Grogu does fit very nicely in there from the looks of things. That's scale.
I know.
Since he's back there.
Grogu for scale.
There you go. They're both the same shade of green, by the way. Because this is a Frankenstein Hello Kitty. I can't remember if we mentioned or not. Did you grab this from the Hot Topic, you said?
Yes, I got this from Hot Topic. It's I guess the brand is Her Universe, and but Hot Topic still has them in stock. You can buy them online. Most times when you log or go pull up a Hot Topic website, it'll give you the option to spin for a discount. so you don't have to pay full price for it. But
Nice.
I am a big fan of it, and there's still plenty of time to get it before Halloween, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, of course, because it's adorable.
Excellent. My awesome thing of the week is some good news. If you are an old school, if you're an old school PBS fan, I guess. I love this because Sesame Street's kind of been popping all over the place. They've been still connected with PBS. PBS Kids, I think, is still carrying the show. They were on HBO for a while. Now they're going over to Netflix. But there was an announcement that coming in January 2026. YouTube will actually be the largest library of Sesame Street content, hundreds of full episodes coming to the channel. I think that's awesome to make it like more accessible to people because children or kids are there is a YouTube Kids, and I think a lot of people are kind of plopping down in front of it at a young age, and I think that's kind of becoming that. And I know I think we've talked about, not here or somewhere else, other kind of children's type individual creators that are kind of becoming this generation's Mr. Rogers to a certain point. Also, has somebody put Mr. Rogers on YouTube? Because that also needs to happen as a whole, along with the Bob Ross and everything. So I think that's a really cool thing to see that Sesame Street. I mean, this is also you put it on YouTube, you're making money off of a lot of old content. Let's be honest about it too. But just accessibility, I think, is really, really good there. And honestly, you probably aren't going to get a lot of ads because if it's marked as made for children, don't they really kind of pull back on that, don't they? Because they don't want to, because they had to separate the marketing for the kids versus us elderlies, overagers, I guess. But yeah, no. So that was a really cool thing, and that's my awesome thing of the week. Now I'm going to we went short, so we can let Dave unleash for the awesome stuff of the week. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to separate this. We don't have a Chachi video game minute this week, so we're going to play a little bit of Get to Know the Interns. This is our first night with everybody from the University of Pittsburgh. So first, let's if I figure out which button's which here. Intern Mac is with us.
Hello.
Say hello. Yes, because some people are on audio. You got to make sure you're more than visual. So, Mac, how are you doing? And you have not listened to the AwesomeCast in previous.
No, I have not. I'm doing pretty good.
So I guess the first question is Mac or PC?
I have a PC for video games for like everything where I run Steam on. Then I use my Mac for editing, anything school related.
Awesome. What do you edit on?
Mostly Adobe because I have it for free.
Oh yeah. That's very handy. So, what do you do at the Institute, the University of Pittsburgh? What's your background for what you're doing?
I am a film and media studies student on the production track, and then I did television broadcasting certificate, digital media certificate, really anything that has to do with like online content creation.
Mm-hmm. And what do we got you doing tonight? We're having you guys dive right in some of the community stuff, right?
I am putting stuff in the chat with what we talk about on the podcast.
There you go. And let everybody know what we're talking about. And hopefully some more people come across and have links to everything in case I forget to put them out there too. And then we also have intern Tony with us as well. How you doing,
hello.
Tony?
I'm doing great. Yes, I'm doing good.
Also from the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes, I am. I'm also a film and media studies major. And I'm a junior.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. What's your editing platform?
Also Adobe
because it's free.
And,
yep. Okay. All right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we have some stories for you.
Right.
And what do we got you working on tonight?
I'm currently on the social media platforms, sending out live tweets, live posts, just to get an audience going for the podcast.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us here. I know we've kind of crash coursed you guys into the podcast thanks to, schedules and sickness and stuff here. So thank you for dealing with me the last hour too. Katie's seen me when things aren't working and I don't know where anything is in the studio, right, Katie?
Chaos. Pure chaos. And then I got to go to Guitar Center.
I got to go to Guitar Center and explain to me that the chords that I forgot 2 hours away are going to cost me $300 and I'm not making money tonight. Yeah. Anyways, this is the life of an independent producer, unfortunately, with obviously organizational problems. Anyways, let's get back to now we got out of that because I think our new friends here may have things to chime in about some of the specs we're going to talk about here. Dave, what what happened today. Now I watched it. I watched the Apple event. I was working in a conference environment, so I couldn't. I just had subtitles on. It was as I was not busy or anything because it was kind of a slow period. What did Apple do?
Well, first of all, I will say I was shocked. It was an hour and 15 minutes.
That's light for them, right?
That is really light. I was expecting, especially with a brand new type of iPhone, I was expecting it to go much longer. I was thinking an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I felt like they were a few items short. Like, I feel like they would usually have like, and we're going to do this. And it's like a bunch of little things. Like, you know, I don't know. This is where Apple socks would come out or something like that.
Well, we got close.
We'll never live down Apple. Did I see a strap? Like a strap?
Yes.
Like
a crossbody strap. Yes.
For your
iPhone, for their new case. They have connections on the new case where you can attach an Apple crossbody strap to.
What?
I will say this. It's not for me. I can see if you are, and this is just because women, we all know women's pants, what don't women's pants have? Pockets. So I could see for someone who is lacking in pockets that, you know, and they don't want to put it in your purse per se, that they actually, there's two different, there is a bumper case. So we're going back to iPhone 4 or iPhone 5. We got a bumper case.
Got you there. Okay.
And there's a full woven case with the same connectors.
Mm-hmm.
Shot, please.
Oh, cat. We got a cat. There we go.
Got a cat, yes. But yeah, there's now the problem with, for my mind, the big problem with the cross body is, of course, with everything else Apple, the cost.
It's a premium crossbody strap.
The phones really didn't go up in price from last year. I give them credit for that. The updated watch, same price. Updated AirPods, updated price. The strap is $60.
That's a
just the strap.
Pricey strap, but it comes in all the colors.
Yes. And the case is $60. So if you wanted a case and the strap, it's $120.
Interesting. So, Katie, as one of the afflicted no pocket women peoples, are you interested in the Apple strap-on?
I don't know how to answer that question in the manner of an AwesomeCast showing.
Yeah.
Put me on the Mayhem show, please.
Talk to us on Mayhem. We can answer how we feel about an Apple strap-on.
Yes. There you go. Okay, functionally, this is a crossbody strap. It seemed like it would be functional for you, Katie, in some situations.
Yes, it would be a functional thing to have
for $60.
Yeah, like you can find them probably for other prices. But
well,
yes,
there's going to be the knockoffs.
Nice,
there's going to be the Amazon knockoffs for sure with the Chinese names you can't pronounce. So I don't know with tariffs anymore, right? So
it's still going to be cheaper than $60.
Yeah, even with that, isn't it? So I mean, they're just kind of starting the trend at this point. So very interesting. Okay, go ahead.
But in terms of the devices themselves, AirPods Pro 3, minor upgrade from the AirPods Pro 2. So in my mind, if you have the 2, you really don't need the 3. They're a little bit smaller. They say they scan 10,000 ears, so it fits better in your ear. For the little nubs, there's 5 sizes now. So hopefully it can definitely fit your ear better. The big splash thing, and we'll see how well it works in person, in-ear translation.
What?
So you're wearing these things, you hit the little, gesture to get it started. Someone's speaking to you in Spanish. It will automatically translate and give it to you in English after they speak.
And this is all in device. They're not piggybacking
it's on the
this.
Phone. It's kind of on the phone,
okay.
But it's because the AirPods are so much better for connecting to the phone. I think it works better than a non-Apple device. But yeah, what they showed was a woman walking into a market and asking, and the woman in the market speaking in Spanish, and basically, you can use the AirPods like hearing aids.
Mm-hmm.
So it turned down the volume of the person talking, and you heard the translation in their ear.
So how does this help you the other way, though? Because
now the way they had is, if you could start talking to the person, and it would show up on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you could start talking, and if they had AirPods, it would automatically, you could just talk to if two people had AirPods, you could have people just talking back and forth without needing to translate.
I mean, that's not going to help me at the bodega necessarily as much, but
no.
but yeah, I guess eventually. But even so, at least like
people have AirPods. Though a lot of people have AirPods.
So
they're
say
very popular.
Sure, but so you saying like the text, but who has the new? Does everybody have the newest AirPods? I know eventually like this would trickle down, right? And more and more this would happen incidentally. But so are you telling me like this? The text would happen on the screen, so like now my translation would pop up, and I could be like, "Hey, this is my response," kind of thing.
And then you can hit a play button and have it speak. Your translation,
or if I just want to sit at the taco stand and eavesdrop, I'm good to go, I guess.
I saw someone post saying, "Oh, this is going to be crazy for American tourists because you'll be able to understand what everyone's saying about you when you go into a store outside the U.S.
or in certain stores in my neighborhood."
Yes,
I mean, honestly, so so like that's not terrible,
Next
So
door.
hey, wait, wasn't this
across the street?
Wait, Dave, wasn't this a Fishing Without Bait episode?
Yeah, something like that.
Did I just post something about they're not talking about you? Stop being paranoid. That from one of the interviews we did a few months ago with Gloria, I think her name was tremendous. So, but hey, now you can prove it. So,
exactly.
Okay, that's a cool feature. So, and again, not a reason if you're on Pro 2s and up, and even Pros and up. I don't think you really need to hop at this. But
I mean, the good thing is they didn't increase the price.
Good. That's good too. I think my mom is my mother is in like she needs hearing aids, and we talked about the AirPod Pros, and like you should get it. You should try this out. It has the hearing test. It has this stuff. It at least would assist you in a lot of these things, right? So, I did see that there was one of the other big features it seemed to be was the heart rate monitor, in-ear heart rate monitor. I presume this is the idea that you are doing something like running and don't even have your watch, or I imagine as a backup for the watch.
Someone who doesn't use an Apple Watch.
Oh, there you go. That's true too.
Instead of saying I need an Apple Watch to track my heart rate. Very similar to how you like start an exercise on your watch and it says, "Oh, I'm running now, so I'm doing this." It's the same kind of tracking that you can do via the headset. So it'll do your heart rate. It'll let you know that, oh, okay, you're starting a workout, and here's your heart rate, and here's the information, and they'll get everything else from the phone.
So this is redundancy if you have an Apple Watch, but it's a nice to have if you haven't gone that route.
Exactly.
Okay. It's just introducing that function for you to make it a little bit better. But that also does go along with the idea about like, more stuff is going to happen in your AirPods, the gesturing, the potentially artificial intelligence and things like that.
Same thing with like the speech, the automatic translation, where this is what Apple does best. Everything working together.
So let's move on a little bit here. Let's talk watches for a moment here.
Honestly, in my mind, minor update. It's a little thinner. It's the battery lasts a little bit better. I actually took some notes here. 5G cellular, if you use cellular instead of LTE. I don't know how big of a deal that is.
No, because I can't think of anything you're doing on a watch that needs all that much data. So that always
unless you go out for a run or you go out, you don't want to bring your phone with you.
Like we're still running LTE for our streaming. We haven't upgraded because we don't see a purpose for it, honestly, for what we're doing. Oh, I need to plug my laptop in. But you got the just real quick. It's the Series 11. The SE3 is going to be the lower end version, and the Ultra 3. It sounded like a lot. SE3 was getting a lot of the features, like a lot of the trickle down from the 9s and the 10s to make it a really.
I would say in the past the SE2 really wasn't worth it. For the price difference. It's like find a used one or find a refurbished. it's got enough stuff. It isn't that much of a step down anymore. It only comes in aluminum, so if you're looking for the titanium, you're looking for you got to go with the higher end. Now, one thing that is a little bit of it's not released yet because it's got to get approved. High blood pressure monitoring. Now, you can't take your blood pressure with it, but it will alert you, kind of like how the sleep apnea alerts you now. It will alert you if it thinks if you're having high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, oh, it looks like you may have hypertension, you may want to contact your doctor. Or if you're someone already on medication, like myself, it may say, oh, your blood pressure is elevated. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I need to change my medication or something on that nature. So that, to me, that is nice. That's a nice feature with the blood pressure. And I could see that being helpful for a lot of people.
Okay. Cool.
The other thing is now the Ultra, which is, of course, the expensive, big, clunky watch.
The I'm climbing a mountain and have nothing else on me watch.
Exactly. 42-hour battery life, though. And satellite communication. You get 2 years free of emergency. And if you have a plan, you can actually send messages or location via satellite just from your phone, just from your watch. Which is, for the size of it, to have a satellite transmission and receiving in it is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
So that I can see, like I said, if you're someone who does extreme, mountain climbing, or you go out where there's not a good cell signal, that's a great backup.
The only person I can think of that should have an Ultra watch is Katie, because she's an adventurer.
Adventures.
You don't even know the adventure she's going on yet. So, I haven't climbed a mountain, tracked in a mountain like Katie has. So, right? Weren't we when you were going on Mount Zion and getting ready for that? Weren't you considering the Ultra for a minute? Because I think that's when they first came out, right?
Yeah. Because it was between that and I think there was a few features on there that were like, my watch isn't enough for this.
Yeah. But for like 3 times the amount. By the way, I did just pay off today. Out of curiosity, I wonder how I had 2 payments left on my watch. A Series 8. So, and I don't see any other than battery life is really kind of killing me lately. Not much to kind of push forward. So, but I still use a 3 as my backup. As long as what's going to be, the 3 is going to die finally at some point with these updates. And that's what's going to push me to get a new watch so I can use this as a backup. So, okay, pretty nominal as far as that goes. Yeah. I mean, Katie, have you seen anything on here that's been exciting for you?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm still waiting to get pushed over the edge between the phone and
yeah, because you're 2 years back on the phone now, and
it's my year to upgrade. So,
and you have like a 7 on the watch, maybe 6. Oh, that's right. Because didn't we think you had a different one when we looked it up?
It's very old, and I really should replace it. But I'm also like, it's all paid.
And the thing about that,
it's nice not to have a payment. Yes,
kind of like a car.
Yep.
But I also say that I don't think the only thing that is kind of going down the road, what could be the major change for the watch, if they somehow could get blood glucose monitoring. They can't, but that would be the holy grail. If they could do that, if you could do blood glucose monitoring without puncturing the skin. And
allegedly it might be coming someday. Allegedly it's in the works. Allegedly it's out there.
They've been working for years on it. It's just maybe one of those things that's physically not possible.
They're going to swing it one of these years. One of these years they're like, and we've done it. We've solved it. And
that would make
it would change so many lives
in people's life. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's roll with the phones. Let's go to the main event. We have 3 phones this year.
Yep.
The new one is the Air.
Yes. Now, do you want to go Air, or do you want to start with the base?
The what?
The 17, the non.
Oh, yeah. So
okay. Which honestly, unless you want the zoom lens or you shoot in RAW, they really pumped up the 17. The display is now 6.3 inches, so it's almost a 1/4 inch bigger. It's got anti-reflective coating. It's better scratch resistance. It's brighter. It's got the ProMotion. The two back lenses are both 48 megapixels, so it can do a kind of a 2x zoom by cropping. Now they're all the phones are getting a new what they call center stage front camera. So wider field of view, you right there. So if you get more people near you, it will notice it and it will adjust the photo. And if it needs to go horizontal, you don't have to turn the camera.
Interesting.
The way it's a square sensor instead of a 4x3 sensor. So if it's like, oh, there's like 3 people in a row, no problem. We'll just make this a horizontal photo.
Explain to me this 48 megapixel dual fusion. Is that just they're using both cameras to make things happen?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, for the main one, what they'll do is they'll go from 48 megapixels down to 12 and only use the center 12 and make it like a 2x zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a digital zoom. Because you're not interpolating, you're just using less pixels.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's smooth. You really won't notice it. It'll have all the software, and honestly, it doesn't. For me, this is the smallest update because you look at the 16, you look at the 17, it looks about the same.
I love they have a compare with going back to the 13. They do not put the 16 in here.
Does not have the 16, right?
Yeah, well, they're still selling it for $100 less. So,
yeah, it's true.
So general upgrades. This looks like it's going to be plenty of phone for anybody that's due. Don't upgrade if you have last year's for sure. And let's see.
I'll even say this: if you have a 16 or 15, you may not need it. I know it says that much faster and up to 4. Now, if you have a 14 and it's in your budget, that makes sense.
And again, I'm messing with a
16. No,
I'm messing with the 13 Pro and the beta so far. Not that I'm using it as a daily driver, but every time I pick it up, it still feels relatively smooth,
Yeah.
And that's been pretty good. So yeah, no, like is it time for you to get another iPhone? Hey, you're going to be good with this. I love this because there was a version of this on the watch too. There was a lineup here, if I can find it again, 50% charge in 20 minutes. The watch was saying something like an 8-hour charge in 15 minutes. I was really impressed with. So they have a lot of rapid fire happening here.
Right. Now for the phone, it is wired charging that's there.
Okay.
So they do not. So it's not wireless. It's wired, but still, because when you do wireless charging that's quick, it really burns out the battery. So that's one of the reasons that Apple does it. They could do it, but overall, it's not great for it.
So people
keep their phones for 4 or 5 years these days.
So tell me about the Air. We're convincing Katie whether she should get her next phone yet or not.
I would say this for Katie, it's probably going to be the Pro, but there's a couple things in the Air.
I think Katie's coming from the Pro, so
right. So I think if you're on the Pro now, you want to go with the Pro. The Air is, to me, it's Apple trying to find out if they can do this manufacturing. So it literally is. If you look at it, it is exceptionally thin. There are hands-on that people, because they're you can do they let people get hands-on. It's barely thicker than the USB-C.
But look at the camera. This is what we talked about last week. Look how crazy that camera is comparison.
Right. Well, here's the thing though. They moved the entire circuit board, memory, all the smarts in that bump.
So most of the phone is in that bump now.
Yep, and everything underneath it is battery.
So your phone, I was going to say maybe your phone's top heavy now, but I don't know with the battery, maybe not.
No, because the battery has most of the weight. But yeah, so pretty much everything is in that little, what they call it, a plateau. Plateau. So yeah, so in that plateau on top, that is literally your entire circuit board and everything.
Okay, all right.
Which, if you look at the size of it, that is mind blowing how small it is. It's titanium. So it's you can see it's obviously a lot of glass. especially coated glass, they say, so it's more protective than everything else.
It's going to be a great phone to put in a case, in a plastic case, man.
Well, here's the thing. One thing they did do. Well, first of all, notice you only have one camera on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is for someone who wants a exceptionally light phone, and that's more important than anything else. The one thing that I'm also impressed with is that the regular iPhone 17 has what they call their A19 chip. This one has the Pro chip in it.
Wait.
So this Air has the more higher powered chip.
So it's lacking in many of the other features because of its size with the camera and everything like that, but we put more juice behind it?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So really, what it's missing between the regular 17 and the Air is just the ultra wide.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no ultra wide. So, but other than that, and so there'll be no macro. But the one thing you can do, and I think this is with the 19 Pro chip exclusive, this is the first one, and you can do this in the Pro too, that can do the dual capture video. So this is where you can capture someone out in front, and the front camera will capture you at the same time.
Did you say, wait, did you say just this one can?
Well, this one and the Pro.
Okay, but not the 17.
Not the 17, no. Or at least they didn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it can, I think they may say, oh, we need the A19 Pro chip to do it. Which, whether you do or not. But there's also things with the front-facing camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're interviewing someone and you're moving around, it'll keep your head centered. If you have an iPad with center stage where it kind of follows you around, same idea. So I can see where that would be useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a halfway between. That's why it's like $1,000.
Yeah.
It's
versus
cheaper in the Pro, but it's more expensive.
17's $800, $799, and then of course we go to the main event and starting at $1,100 about where I usually start is the 17 Pro. Again, by comparison, I got the Pro Max. Katie, I think you have the 15 Pro Max, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's our comparison points here.
Right. So with the Pro, it starts, I think last year the Pro was 6.1. Now it's 6.3 and 6.9.
Okay.
So it bumped up a little bit. All the memories, the storage, start at 256.
Look at that giant plateau. It looks like a freaking droid.
Mammoth.
Yes.
It is mammoth. Now, down below where the cameras are, that's all glass.
Mm-hmm.
And like it is here, this is an aluminum unibody.
Hmm.
So unlike the regular 17, which was kind of like put in faster chip in, put in new, they completely redesigned the Pros. I mean, you figure it's a unibody instead of, what they have now. It looks completely different. Now, this is where you have a lot of the camera updates. So
I love this one.
Yes.
So is this the one where everything's from the same distance?
Yes.
So this is, if you're on audio, so you got your macro that's insanely close up. You have your 200 meters. Like this is all, if you see how far away this is, and then you jump to where we get to.
Right there. Yeah. That's your, if you think about the 13 millimeter, that's your 0.5. That's your ultra wide.
And then then
you go to your, now they did change the zoom. They did something a little sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
The zoom, the actual lens is only a 4x zoom, but because it's 48 megapixel,
you have a lot to work with.
Yeah. So what they're doing, they're cropping, only taking the middle quarter. So that 200 millimeter is a 12 megapixel bit on. So basically it's a crop, but it's cropping on the pixel. So there's no interpolation. So it should be cleaner. You just won't get 48 megapixel or 24 megapixel. It's only 12.
And always a grain of salt when you see these images and these videos that you see on like apple.com and the videos. This is okay. We have this and it can do this, but in a best case professional environment. She is lit professionally
yes.
and all that kind of stuff. When you talk about when you say, oh, we shot with iPhone, you don't know what else they hooked up to the iPhone to do all that stuff.
And for the 8X, they call it optical zoom quality. So like I said, it is not digital as in, if you keep zooming in on a phone, it's going to get pixelated.
We made it mostly look like,
Well, no, it is still pixel by pixel, but it's a much lower resolution to get the zoom. So like right now, if you have an iPhone, a newer one, and it has a, let's say a 3X or a 5X lens, but you have that 2X option, that 2X option is actually the main sensor being cropped. It does a pretty good job.
So
it really does.
Let's get in my neck of the woods on the video side. Now, again, ever since the Pro 13, I've been using in professional environments right next to 4K cameras on our shoots, our iPhones for secondary shots, usually using cinematic and stuff for our interviews. So, and I've been really happy with those results, and they begin obviously better as we go up here. Now, so from here, from what I'm seeing so far, there is a bit of an update. I think it looks like there's a new version of Apple Log 2. I know I have yet to experiment with this with my 16 Pro Max, but having Apple Log means you have like infinite control. It's like Camera Raw. Right, you have infinite like data that you can play with. The biggest thing with it, somebody I work with, Swemba, that was Sky Swemba, that was on here a few months ago when we were in Ann Arbor doing the remote show. It's you have all that data that you can color and everything and have a nice flat starting point on this. That's what the promise is here, and we were using, God, what were those like? $6,000, $8,000 cameras I think we were using for that shoot to give that cinematic look. This is now a $1,200 to $1,800 camera that can do that as well. So this is the updated version of it. Broadcast frame rates. Now
they also have something called Gen Lock. So this is important too. I listen a lot about this with people that are a little bit more, far more professional than me, that do like the time code syncing and the Gen Lock, and that means like that your frames stay in sync. So when you have to do something with it later, like a multicam or when you're live streaming or something like that, that you don't get this little bit of drift that happens that can lead to weird artifacting, I think is the issue with it, right? So in ProRes RAW, obviously that's something that's been part of this. We've plugged a hard drive into our iPhone and had like full quality ProRes and edited with that. It edits like a dream coming off of there. But then you have to have a rig where I have a hard drive hanging off of my phone and all this stuff while I'm out in the field, and that was really interesting. Plus everything gets hot. So that's actually I would say that's the biggest question I wanted to ask you, because I'm looking about they talked about how they redid that unibody and the coating and the different materials. An issue, Katie, you saw this too, especially when we were in Arizona of all places. We're on the Michigan Speedway in the middle of June. We're doing these interviews. I've taken the case off of my phone, and I have a naked ass phone out there in the paddocks, guys. And still, because I decided to get a black phone for some reason, blackish, grayish space, maybe. It's hot. It's running so hot because it's doing all that processing, the cinematic, the ProRes, whatever I'm deciding to do that day. And it dies. It says it shuts off from all the heat. Now, is this new? You watched this presentation closer than I did. Aluminum will help.
Aluminum will help. Wait, what? Oh, this is glass, isn't it?
Well, no. Also, the frame is titanium.
The new one.
Yeah, but the new Pro is aluminum. It isn't titanium.
So the heat will dissipate better. Is what you're telling me.
Aluminum does, yes. Also, there is what they're calling a vapor chamber cooler built in.
Please translate that for me.
Basically, it's like some PCs have liquid cooling.
Okay.
They have a small chamber with ionized water inside the phone.
There's water inside my phone in this model?
Yeah. Actually, they'll show it on the website. But
hold on, I'm looking for it.
It's basically a liquid cooled phone.
Is it this? Wait, is it? Cool. Oh, it's the. No, this is just power. I don't know why things are just. Oh, is it this thing here? Wait a minute. Is it this? No. Go back to this thing. There's like a grading it shows, and there was a version of it up here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So you go to your unibody situation. No. Video Pro, yada yada. This thing needs a replay. But yeah. So wait, is the grate in like it's that thin layer kind of situation?
You know what? Let me look exactly. Yeah, because there it compares just that way. If you keep scrolling down,
God, these websites. Why don't they just work? Podnar isn't coming through on the stream. I understand. Oh no, that's a problem. Keep talking, Podnar. I'll see if I can work it out. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I'm scrolling down the screen now, and let's see if I can. No. Okay, let me hit explore. Nope, that's not it either.
You were in the right spot with the game. I just think it shifted.
Yeah, it kind of.
I got there and I was like, oh, there it is, and then it was gone.
Yeah, it reloaded it for a second there. So you get in here. So God, why is it showing the game?
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's stuck. It's stuck here. It's but either way, that's the visual. If you're on audio, you're not getting that anyway. So I don't. That's weird.
So it actually has a special cooling in it. Oh, you know what? Go up to the very top where it says "Take a closer look," and it has the options on the left side going down saying "Colors, Aluminum Unibody," and you want to go for vapor chamber. I know that's something that sounds like millennials would use.
Vapor chamber. Yep. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Yep. So here's your vapor chamber. And there it is.
The ionized water sealed inside moves heat away.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
There's a radiator inside your phone. Yes.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen out of this announcement today.
But I'm guessing Katie, they had enough people complain about the phone overheating.
Oh, just like we did, right? In the field, it's a problem.
Well, we got to fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Katie, have we convinced you to upgrade your phone to a water-cold Pro?
A water-cold Pro. I don't know. I listen, the ceramic shield that protects the body is a selling point for me currently.
Yeah, and during the presentation, they basically did a version of Miley Cyrus's Came In Like a Wrecking Ball, as they attached a phone to a pendulum and it crashed into like keys and other like nails and things like that to show how it doesn't crack or anything. Now the other thing is, if you get the Pro Max, it goes now up to 2 terabytes.
Ooh,
$1,900
when you're ready to spend all the money on the stream on the thing. Yeah. I already get my terabyte that I've never filled, but I've definitely I've never filled it, but I've definitely gone over like 512, so that justifies it at that point.
Given the amount of video.
Yeah, especially since when I was buying them is before I could just connect a hard drive to it and do ProRes. So I was like, you get a terabyte, and it's like, well, you can do 15 minutes of ProRes. Good luck. Which brings me back to the P2 card days where I spent like $500 on this card that does an hour. No, it did 15 minutes of HD at the time. It was ridiculous. And I realized we cannot do professional wrestling on this at this rate.
So, no.
But
now I'll also say, in terms of battery, the Pro, there's actually internally, the only difference between the Pro and the Pro Max is the size. Some years they have like camera differences, or it's the exact same phone, size is the only difference. For the 17 Pro, now this is video playback with, all the other things they say, blah 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 blah, whatever. 33 hours of video playback, and 39 for the Max.
Jeez,
which is absolutely crazy. Because if you're comparing, like I said, if you're comparing it to a 13 Pro Max, it's 5 more hours of video playback.
So either way, it sounds really nominal upgrades. I mean, the video stuff is still like I could use. The water cold may answer some of my problems. I don't know. Let's take it to we're not even going to the desert next year, are we, Katie? We're going to Oregon and Rochester. So we wouldn't. I mean, the worst we would do. We have Florida and Texas in the early spring. And
I'll also say this, that if you have an iPhone 16, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, in my mind, don't upgrade.
No,
there's not a reason to upgrade.
No, 3 years minimum at this point if you're doing the pros.
Exactly.
Because these things they're so maxed out right now. It's just it's almost like hold on to the Pro until the standard model looks like the same specs.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because
I mean, unless the ultra thin, where they're selling at launch.
Listen,
a MagSafe battery that clips onto the back of the phone to give you like 40 hours of video playback with that. Unless you're like, oh my god, I have to have that thin and light phone. In my mind, if you have something that, like you said, 3 years old, 4 years old, it's your mind may be blown on how much quicker and how much, especially if you take photos, how much better the photos are going to be.
Katie, any final thoughts on this one?
I'm trying to think. I'm still not 100% convinced. I mean, there are definitely some things that are exciting, and the most of the time that my phone is overheated has been in the car when I've had to be on the side of the road or like a parking lot and do a Teams call or do some sort of video call. That's where my phone tends to overheat because it's usually plugged in charging, and then but also again black.
Black on black and in rubber.
Now, so I mean that is exciting to me.
Here's the thing: no black this year.
No black.
Only 3 colors: gray, orange, and dark blue.
Listen, I gotta say,
and it looks blue. And
I gotta say, I have that problem. I have embarrassingly yelled at an intermission of a wrestling show. Everything's black and in the shadows, and I can't find anything when it comes to production equipment. And man, I'm just gonna get orange. Give me the caution orange. Everything. I will find it on the table. No more losing my iPhone in the middle of a table of plastic black everything from recorders to switchers, because that thing is a damn beacon. Also, I do have the belief that because we now have a bright blue pickup truck, that everybody will find you. You will be found out if you're doing something wrong or something. Why is my car the only one getting parking tickets on the street? Those kinds of things will happen. And maybe that will happen in your equivalent of life when it comes to your phone when it's orange. Interns, any thoughts on the new iPhones?
I think it's really ugly, personally.
We got ugly. Wait, are you an iPhone or an Android?
I'm an iPhone.
You're an iPhone.
I'm an iPhone. Yep.
Okay, and it just you don't like the bump. You don't like the plateau.
No, I can't say I do like the plateau. I like the orange. The color is nice.
Okay.
But I don't like the plateau. It looks a little funky. I feel like they're going back to the old iPhone. Trying to say what it looks like, the old one. I can't say I like it.
What about you, Mac?
My biggest thing is everyone complained about the camera bump and how it makes the phone all wobbly. And I was like, okay, maybe the plateau will fix it. But the camera lenses are still sticking out. It doesn't fix anything. And now it only comes in 3 colors, and I don't like any of them.
I saw a great post today that said if they added a black to this line of the Pros, they would have had every color of the GameCubes when they went out. They came out because it was like a black, gray, purple, and orange, and I was like, "Oh, so close, Apple, so close." My case on this for me, if you're on the Pro side, obviously, if you want to do something that's high end, like the Pros, what you're gonna want, it's kind of function over form at that point too. But yeah, just until it is something that solves a problem, I can almost say if you can tell me that water cooling solves a problem, that my phone's going to stop overheating while I'm on a paying gig, embarrassingly losing my camera while I'm having a subject in front of me, whether that be a COO or an entire group of students from Mexico that I'm trying to get an interview in on, that we're not going to have 10 minutes from now. That's a problem I need to solve. And if this provingly this iPhone does, it is a consideration. I don't know if it's that big. Maybe it's a trade-in option, for something like that. But it And yeah, it doesn't really jive with me yet. But like, you have my interest at the water cooling. You have my interest in the direction we going with Apple Log and ProRes RAW. There's still improvements on that. It makes me also, I don't want the first phone with water cooling right off the line. You also don't want the first major shift in design from Apple, because there's going to be something, whatever it is, if they're changing the manufacturing. So I want the 2.0 of this. Maybe they modify the plateau, maybe they, the water cooling's even better or something. And then, maybe that year I'll be going back to the desert and going to want it, kind of situation. So, but now I just go to the Northeast.
Like I said,
West.
I think the one advantage is the telephoto lens is going from, I believe, 12 megapixels like it is now to 48. So that may make a little bit of a difference if you use the tele.
Okay.
And supposedly, now I know digital zoom, you got to be careful. It can go up to 40x digital, which I'm assuming is going to look messy.
Yeah.
But it gives you that opportunity. Now, like I said, I think the Air, as thin as it is, we're talking 5.6 millimeters. So if for people who are not used to metric, look at your pinky. Half the width of your pinky is how thick that phone is.
And that is Podner's awesome thing of the week. As we hit 50 minutes on the show. Real quick here, and Katie, I want you to do the last story here. Pick on the way out the door, okay? But in the meantime, we do have to give a shout out to our friends on Patreon at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. People that do support the show, help keep the servers running, and keep us going here on this show. And thank you to everybody that does support the show. Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and hey, Dave Podnar. Of supporting the show and keeping us rolling. Thank you, everybody that does support that. There is a Patreon feed. No Patreon after show this week because we have kind of a tight schedule with some things going on this week. So we're actually even truncating the next show that's coming up here tonight. But we usually have a little bit of we have a lot of extra stories, and typically we'd be going through these on the after talk as well. So and be going from there. So but no, you guys check it out, patreon.com/awesomecast, and thank you for supporting the show. Katie, what do you want to talk about as we go out the door here?
Do you want to talk about the Gingerbread AT-AT walker? From Lego.
I think you do. You sent it to me this week.
Yes. I didn't want to forget about it because I knew I was going to forget about it. So we have a new Lego set for the holidays. It is the Star Wars Gingerbread AT-AT. And it is an adorable, looks like it's in brown with the white icing look, and there's Christmas lights looking, and it looks like Darth Vader is also a little gingerbread fella, and inside's adorable. It looks like I was trying to get the other angle of it, but inside it looks like a little roaring fire with like a mug, so it's like a little like your little where you would have your cocoa next to the fire on your Christmas morning or your holiday mornings.
Nice.
And yeah, it's adorable.
Be go check that out.
It's available October 1st. It is $60, and probably it's like 7 inches tall. So be prepared to be little, because the pictures are very like deceptive.
Yeah, how big is that pine cone? Like, you have a small tree and a giant pine cone. You're not telling me anything in this picture. So
no. Not at all.
Man, well, the low angle, I guess. I don't know. Wasn't there a story I came across about like the most expensive set is a giant
right underneath it.
A giant it was in this. That's right. We put it in here.
The giant Death Star.
Let's stay Netflix, or let's stay Lego on this for a moment. A giant Death Star, the first $1,000 set from Lego. Now, I have no skill for this either. What are we doing? This tells me. There's business cards. There you go.
Yeah.
Is it? I can't tell how big. It's very detailed. There's a lot going on here. So, yeah. I mean, this is one of those things that usually.
Okay.
Wait. We got a person for scale here. There you go. There.
The set measures 20 inches high, 18 inches wide, and 15 inches deep.
Woof.
So that is a massive set.
Does this say how many pieces it is?
It does, I think, somewhere in here. Okay. Yeah, there's tons
9,023 pieces.
Jeez.
With 38 minifigurines.
38 minifigs.
Yeah.
It's everything you'd ever want in a minifig, though. It's like the entire cast of the original Star Wars trilogy. It's got,
they even have Luke as regular Jedi, and when he was dressed up like a stormtrooper.
Jeez, there's a couple Crimson Troopers. Wait, there. I think there's a third Luke in there too. There's a Luke on the left there. You see, in the Black Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
Jeez.
Luke on Luke. But yeah, there's a lot of fun Easter eggs in it.
A couple of Leias in there too. Wow. Go check that out. That's pretty cool. Is this an official set or is this one of those?
No, it's official.
It's an official. It's not a
I think
customer.
it's an official. Yeah.
That's amazing. Go check that out. I keep going to that scene from Spider-Man where Ned drops the Death Star on the floor.
Oh.
Right. So awesome. Dave, I know you're gonna iPhoneography. You're gonna be talking more and more about these cameras. I'm sure somebody's gonna get a hands-on for it, right?
Oh. Well, yeah. Actually, I'm going to be the only one who doesn't get the camera. My two co-hosts will be getting the new camera. It can be pre-ordered, I believe, Friday, and it will be shipping next week. We actually already recorded, and it's actually already out. So if you want to watch us, our YouTube page or any kind of podcatcher, iPhoneography podcast, we just had kind of quick reaction going on and everything else.
Excellent. Go check that out for some deep dive on the iPhoning. Katie, how was Erie?
Oh, lovely. It was very nice.
You were up there for Big League this past weekend. I don't know if you have any adventures planned this weekend.
Not yet, no.
Excellent. KatieDudas.com for everything Katie related. I will be going to Niagara Falls this weekend for our first MMA show. First time that we've done a production over the border. I actually have not been to Canada in God, have I not been to Canada since like the late 2000s? Jeez. So this will be fun. Sure. Let's see how that goes. We got our hotel. There are water slides. Our hotel. Whoa. Not that we have time to do that, but anyways, we're back with Spectation Sports. Going to be working with that crew again, and we were going to be doing a BTC. I can't remember what it stands for. BTC 32 up there. Looks like they got 11 fights up there, so we're gonna. As we would always call it on the no, I'm not going to say that. It's what we call it on the Wrestling Mayhem show. I can't say on this show, but so we'll talk about that, I'm sure, on that one. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, new interns. How was the first show?
It was great. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it.
This enthusiasm, I love it.
Yes.
So excellent. Thank you, intern Tony, intern Mac here, and then of course we will be back next week. Guys, we have a guest next week.
Yay!
I think you saw the message, right?
We have a big guest.
We talked about, the some know her as Pit Girl, when she was on CNN like 20 years ago. Our friend Ginny Montanez is going to be joining us. I believe it was the Pathfinder app, and she actually messaged me today that there's a big update rolling out with it too. So it's the thing where you can kind of it creates a historical kind of guide as you walk through a city, like kind of thing. So I want to hopefully find some time. Ooh, maybe I'll find 5 minutes in Niagara Falls and go do it up there. So this is where we find out it doesn't work in Canada, right? But no, she's going to be our guest next week here on the show. So I'm really excited for that because I haven't talked to her in years. And of course, one of the old pod camp crew, if you will. So excited about that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay in His Envy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.